We're still looking at the issue about the ultimatum given by the coalition of northern groups, asking the federal government to resign this decision to suspend the RUGA settlement initiative as keen. Your organization, Tafediferi, has come out to describe that ultimatum as not only insulting, but a calling to war. Why would you say that at this time?
Well, clearly, first thing is for that there's some so-called fellow Nigerians who equate cows with human beings is very offensive. To say, oh, if you not allow our cows to move freely in your area, your human beings will not be able to move freely in the north. It's repugnant. And it flows from the assaults that are visited on the rest of the country by a group in this country. Even when you look at the whole idea of RUGA flows from that kind of impunity. Because RUGA is another word for cow settlement. How you will take in a multi-ethnic nation like Nigeria, take a concept in language of one of the section and impose it on the rest of the country. Could Obasanjo have brought a concept in Yoruba into the agriculture ministry and placed over Nigeria? Will our friends not accept? Would Jonathan have brought a concept in the Ijaw language and imposed on Nigeria? Would they accept? I didn't start today. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture had the program they call Fadama today. Fadama means irrigation in Hausa language. People kept quiet. But now it's becoming too much. And when you look at this, take the list of agriculture ministers in this country over the years and look at who have come from each section. Minus additional and possibly I would tell in Second Republic. From one section, we cannot run a country like that. And I think is that habitual impunity that is giving some thugs the leeway to tell us that in 30 days, so that you accept that cows move freely in your area, your human beings stop moving everywhere. And it has come to a point in this country where we need to agree. If we want to live together, it should be on the basis of mutual respect, on the basis of federalism, for every section to live their cultural norms. If you don't want to live together, let us have a referendum, have our Brexit in peace, and then we can still live it after. We can have consulate offices across, exchange programs, be friendly. Let it not be on the basis of war that these elements are calling for.
Shouldn't have the president or the presidency done more in terms of ensuring that those who are behind those ultimatums should have been arrested? I mean, what's your take on that?
They are working together. Is it an accident that was very day the federal government announced so-called suspension that they issued their ultimatum? They are working together. Look, when Obasanjo talk about Fulanization and Islamization agenda and accused Boko Haram and Mihiti Allah, who responded to them? To date, Mihiti Allah did not respond. Boko Haram did not respond. It was Lai Mohammed and Garba Shehu who are responding to Obasanjo on behalf of Mihiti Allah and Boko Haram. We had a situation where Garba Shehu was telling us that Mihiti Allah, that in 2015, that the global terror index described as the fourth deadliest terror group in the world, Garba Shehu was equating that with Afenifere and Ohanese. So the agenda is clear. It's those who are living denial that will not agree with General Tiwa at this stage that there is complicity in what is going on. And that's why Afenifere has, last year, we called on Mr. President that you cannot be president of Nigeria and be grand patron of Mihiti Allah. That's conflict of interest. And that's what you are seeing. That today, you do not know the difference between the Nigerian presidency and the presidency of Mihiti Allah or coalition of northern groups.
You raised an alarm about the fact that the federal government was plotting to repeal the Land Use Act, which conferred the power to control lands in the states and the government. Should Nigerians be concerned?
Yeah, clearly we have to be concerned, because when you look at it, when you look at the memo from the chief of staff to the Ministry of Agric, they never talk about suspending RUGA. Or they said that they are suspending the unilateral implementation by the Agric Ministry, which is not in conformity with National Livestock Program. Now, we are aware that Niger State alone has 70,000 square kilometers land. Netherlands is the fourth largest exporter of agriculture in the world. The entire Netherlands is not of Niger State. Niger State said they want to do RUGA. So other states in the United States they want to do RUGA. The federal government said they're suspending it because southern states, mostly southern states and Midwest, are saying no. It shows clearly that the whole agenda is not about cattle, it's about taking land from other people. And the land used today remains a brick wall in that agenda. And we should not forget our recent history. When you go to many people have forgotten today that Hausa land, Anga, Birom, Ilorin were never Fulani territories. If you go to the entire north today, there was not one city or one town that the Fulani built. They came to their jihad, 1804 started taking over land. They took over Hausa land first. They killed their kings. Surreptitiously, under the guise of introducing pure Islam, took over the Hausa land. They finished the Hausas. They are moving to Kanuri land. Kanuri said no. Islam, we knew Islam for you. That today, people don't know that the old Boko Haram insurgency in the north is still the resumption of the jihad against the Kanuris. The resistance of them, that they're still planning or still want to take over those territories. When the Kanuri said go back, they moved to Loni. They took over Loni, a Yoruba town, now under an emir. In the whole of the north today, it's only the emir of Anka in Safara. That's a non-Fulani emir. That's Hausa. They were coming to the heart of Yorubaland before Yoruba warriors met them in Shobo and stopped them. And then there was a famous statement that they are coming to dig the Quran to the sea. Now, recently, you have seen images of cows around the sea in Lagos. Can cow drink sea water? It's a statement they are making. And so, this RUGA project is to take away lands from people in the south, in the middle belt, and turn Nigeria virtually to a Fulani country. Don't forget that the president has been talking about local government autonomy. It's not about this agenda. So that by the time they have those local governments, they have autonomy, they will try control. And more importantly, what that would mean is that when you have elections in this country, the constitution says that, oh, you need to spread across the country. Once we have RUGAs across the south and middle, if you have a Fulani candidate or 2/3 is not a problem. Because they will register millions of Fulanis, bring around the world, put them all the RUGAs. But you see that if you have RUGA in those states, those who will vote in RUGAs will be more than the region of those states when you have elections. So that is why this RUGA project is about internal colonialism. And that's why we are resisting it. For us in Yorubaland, we have said it loud and clear that no governor in Yorubaland should give an inch of our land for any RUGA settlements.
Now, beyond your call for Yorubas or the Southerners to defend their ancestral lands, yes, one of the major concerns is that there seems to be small proliferation of arms in the north. How will the Yorubas defend their ancestral lands with this kind of threat?
Well, they can, yes, there are so many weapons in the hands of the north today. Even their highest men, they go about with AK-47. If you are spoken with someone who they are kidnapped, they will tell you that they open brand new AK-47 from packs easily, unlicensed. Yet, the federal government is not disarming them. They wanted to disarm those who illegally registered arms. So, but like I said, when they were bringing their jihad, we told their weapons and our warriors made them in Shogo and they pushed them back. They will never overrun Yoruba. It's not possible. We may not have, the federal government may not allow us to carry arms, but we have all our traditional technology for the protection of our people, which we have all done over the years and which we continue to do. And that's what we're calling people to do. And which was why we are also very happy that the Nobel laureates, Professor Olushinka and DNF met on July 4 and they issued a statement which can only come from men of courage. Men who understand that man dies in him who keeps silent in the face of oppression and tyranny. So, when you heard the Oni and the Shurika speaking, you should know that the Yoruba spirit is alive. And anybody who thinks they can run over us, conquer us, or subdue us is joking.
Many of the so-called Fulani headsmen are not even Nigerians, according to some of the reports and research that we've had. And one begins to wonder why there has been an institutional failure in this regard, as regards mechanism to prevent and stop illegal immigrants in the country. I mean, have you given that a thought?
No, they cannot stop. They can't stop. The government we have in Nigeria today cannot stop them. It's an agenda. It is the suzerainty of Fulani that we are witnessing in Nigeria today. Don't forget, for Olusegun Obasanjo to come to the conclusion that there's a Fulani agenda. Don't forget that part of the hatred Obasanjo had in Yorubaland before was it's Pronof, he's their boy. But for him to come to that conclusion that this agenda is going on. So, I mean, what's going on is very clear. When Erufai came out to say that he paid money to foreign Fulani to stop killing in Kaduna, you knew what was going on. When you were having APC or having campaign in Kano and governors came from the Niger Republic to attend the rally, what do you think you are doing? So, for the Fulanis, a Fulani in Nigeria has a stronger sense of belonging with a Fulani in the Niger Republic than an Edo man, or a Yoruba man, or a Ijo man. Their kinship is stronger than that. Fulanis, they have no borders. Don't forget that there was war in Central African Republic in 2015 when 6% Fulani wanted to lodge over the rest of the country, forcing their lands, taking their territory, the way they are doing here now. And there was a war there in which the rest of the country rose against them, killed their cows, killed those who had many. 80% of them had to flee from Central African Republic. A lot of them are in Nigeria today. So, for them, for the Fulanis, Southern Nigeria is just, for them, Nigeria is just their northern soil and southern votes. And like this coalition that you two are saying, they believe that they value their cows more than us. Don't forget that there was this lady, a rep, who said on the floor of the rep that Fulani value their cows more than themselves. So who are we? So that is what's going on. The Fulani agenda against Nigeria is strong, and if that's not so, and Obasanjo will not come to that conclusion and say it openly.
You made a statement recently that government must begin to enforce law and order, make sure that no group of people act with impunity against the other.
Yes.
Why would you assert this fact at this point in time? Does it mean that the government's security architecture has totally failed in this regard?
I go back to RUGA Conundrum again. When a former chief of defense staff of this country, former defense minister, comes out to tell you that, look, if you depend on the current security architecture of Nigeria to protect you, you will die one by one. That's a very strong statement coming from him. And I'll tell you a story. Last week, we had a meeting in Akure, and a professor came there. He said he was driving from Ikiti to Ilesha when Fulani men were leading on the way. He managed to maneuver to round, he shot at his car, he ran from them. Then when he got to the next police station, he stopped. Sorry, I have a complaint. I have a complaint. He was panting. What is it? Hey, what is it? I was almost abducted now. Yes. We have the happen so place. It was Fulani men. Sorry, you cannot report here. You have to go to the next station. He said he moved. He got to the next station. He said Fulani. No. You should have gone to the last station. He said he got to almost 6 stations. They will not take his statements. About 5 years ago, a son of Chief Mkabela came to me. Uncle, help me talk to the governor of Ondo State. I want to do agriculture. Dr. Miko was going on Ondo State that time. I called him. I said, Your Excellency, please, our hero Abiola died. This is his son. You want to do agriculture in your state, give him land. Or Miko said, let him come and see me. Miko gave the boy land somewhere near war. He started. One day, Fulani men took over the place. This boy ran to the police in Akure. Said, Fulani men have taken over my farm. The people are sorry. We have no power to act against Fulani men in this station. Yes. Why? Because the commander-in-chief is also their grand patron. So, the security forces, they are hamstrung. You cannot begin to say that you are acting against terror activities of a group who has the president as their commander-in-chief. It's not possible. And that's why we're saying that except the Nigerian government realizes that enforcement of law across board is the first duty of any government. We are taking this country to Kigali very fast.
That is ominous. Your organization has described the RUGA settlement policy initiated by the presidency as an ethnic agenda, saying that ranching is the way to end the killing by Fulani herdsmen. What is the difference between ranching and the so-called initiatives that are being provided by the federal government?
To start with, every Nigerian who understands English knows the meaning of ranching. Not every Nigerian who is not an Hausa Fulani person does not understand the meaning of RUGA, but it's another word. Now, and that shows clearly it's an ethnic agenda. And the group who hide it, they could even give it a name that's not even their own language. But beyond that, RUGA is an attempt for ethnic conquest and domination to take others, grab other people's land under the guise of rearing cattle. Whereas ranching is a business model. That, you want to raise cows in Lagos State, you go to Alausa, I want to buy land, you apply a fee form, they give you all the regulations you pay, and you live under the regulation of Lagos State. And we are only pure business. That's the ranching proposal, which you accept. But for as long as we are Nigerians, every Nigerian can do business in any part of Nigeria. But you must live under the rules and regulations of your host community. But RUGA is an attempt to take over land and give to the Fulani herdsmen across Nigeria. To use the power of the federal government. For goodness sake, what's the business of federal government in cattle business? Those who own this cattle, they are billionaires. They can afford to buy land to do their ranches. How many businesses do you have in Nigeria that the federal government is supporting in that way? Farmers, fishermen, all kinds of businesses. They are doing their own businesses. So clearly, RUGA is a policy in internal colonialism, while ranching is a solution to the herdsmen trespass, because there's also a dubious word that's been used in farmers' herders clashes. What clashes? Somebody's using his farm, cutlass on his farm. Somebody's coming taking for to terrorizing, and you say clashes. It used to be herdsmen terror, but the federal government softly, in fact, we even learned that editors are called. So don't stop using this terror. Now stop seeing clashes. It's not clashes. The headers are trespassing on farmers' land and they're terrorizing them. That's the right word. How is that a clash? They're now presenting as if it's two fighting. If it's two fighting, why is it that it's only why is it we're not siding farmers? Why is it that headers they are always siding? When they say they want to call and say they want to give money, why is it that herdsmen they are calling? Now that why didn't I go to north today? In Darao, we want to create RUGA for those who are raising pigs. To go and raise pigs in Darao or Sokoto.
So beyond just the suspension, the federal government
they didn't suspend. They didn't suspend RUGA. RUGA is alive. They suspended unilateral implementation by the Ministry of Agric. Go and read Abakari's memo to the Ministry of Agric. They didn't say we suspended RUGA. They said the president has suspended the unilateral implementation of RUGA by the Agric Ministry. That's what is suspended. No RUGA syntax.
So we should be looking at the cancellation of the policy in its entirety.
Of course, that's the only thing that can please us, because suspension is what we call takia, deception, and many people are falling. I was doing that in my column yesterday, talking about people are falling, great men who are falling for deception in Nigeria. In 1962, the Federal House was sitting, discussing with tradition, when all of us scribbled a note to Balewa. This was a story about Bacholo himself to Inako. Prime Minister, when can we see? The Prime Minister responded, why not now? So I will head to Balewa's chambers. Mr. Prime Minister, what is the thing I'm hearing that emergency will be declared in Western Nigeria? You're a lawyer. Everyone knows the process of declaring emergency rule. Why would that be contemplated? It's not possible. If ordinary people how can you believe that? Anything was discussed? I will say nothing. They parted, they shook hands, they left. That night, emergency rule was declared in Western Nigeria. So let nobody fall for the suspension. Nothing was suspended. It's only that Agric Ministry jumped the gun. They didn't allow them to cross all their teeth and dot their eyes, and that's what they're doing now.
Comrade RUGA Odumakin, thank you very much for your insightful analysis.
My pleasure.